Not gonna lie, guys, it's looking to be a really good anime season. Just saying. We've got the sequel for Berserk by Light Films. We've got Orange, the aforementioned show right here, and of course, by the author One, who made One Punch Man, we now also have Mob Psycho 100, and though I haven't seen anything for Mob Psycho 100 yet, I'm still excited for it, just based purely off of who's making it, Studio Bones and the creator of One Punch Man. So that's good enough reasons to be excited, right? Anyways, this is going to be my review for the first episode of Orange. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I mentioned back in my The Lost Village review that I hadn't been watching a lot of anime recently, and part of that was due to being burned out. One of the biggest things that helped burn me out on it, though, was watching just so many mundane, boring, and not so eventful romance animes. I'm not going to throw salt in anybody's eye here, but, basically, I wasn't having a very good time finding a good romance show to watch, and that being my favorite genre within the medium. Yeah, that was going to definitely do some low blows to me, but I've gotten back into it, and I decided why not give Orange a little shot. I've been excited about it for a while. I've known about the manga, so why not? Anyways, I have my first impressions of it, and I'm going to be honest. I really, really liked it. The premise is incredibly interesting. I will be spoiling the premise, although if you don't want to be spoiled, I suggest you go to Crunchyroll and watch it. Right now, for all I know, it could only be available for premium members at the moment, that of which I am. But if you have to wait and then come back. I don't recommend, if you don't want to be spoiled by anything, I don't recommend you watching this. So, the premise. Well, essentially, this girl, Naho, I believe is her name, is in high school, and she receives a mysterious letter one day. The letter just so happens to have detailed and accurate accounts of her very own diary in it. And who's in the letter is claiming to be Naho in the future. I believe 10 years in the future, her 26-year-old self sending messages to her 16-year-old self to make sure that her 16-year-old self doesn't make the same mistakes that she did. Yes, that is very interesting. I have not yet seen that executed in a romantic anime sort of shoujo format yet, and it's going to be interesting to see how that works. It's kind of reminding me of the movie, The Lake House, that Keanu Reeves movie, The Lake House, and it's also reminding me a little bit of I said The Lake House. Now I can't remember the other thing it was reminding me of, but it doesn't matter. That's what it's reminding me of at the moment, and I'm just like, that's very interesting. It's kind of like hopefully it's a lot better than The Lake House, but it is a very interesting premise, and I've yet to see that executed in a shoujo anime format before, so I'm incredibly interested to see how that goes. Now, first things first, I'm going to be honest, I thought the animation for this series, just by purely looking at it, was actually Madhouse. It was that good at times. And the reason why I thought it was Madhouse is because I'm usually good at identifying their art style. And it gave me a really big Chihaya Furu and My Love Story vibe, which that's just what I was getting from it. So I was like, oh, yeah. And then when I finally saw the credits for the opening scene, and it's with TMS Entertainment, and I was just like, oh, the people who did Kami-sama Kiss, I guess I can see that. It just looks like the animation's a bit more fluid. Although there are a huge amount of times when they rely very, very heavily on still frames in this series, but still, I was quite impressed. Now, the letter first details, and we first start off in class, and she's reading the letter, and she gets information about a transfer student that's about to sit next to her. So here, lo and behold, she sees it, she's reading it, and then boom, they announce this guy called Kakeru Naruse-kun. 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 And she's just like, wow, holy shit, the letter worked. Oh my god, I can't believe it. And lo and behold, that's our premise. For whatever reason, her future self wants her to not make these mistakes. Now, I know for a fact if I had the opportunity to tell my younger self to, like, do this way and that this way and this and that and this and that, then I would definitely do that. You know, try to create a better life for me, try to not have any regrets. But which is a very interesting premise to go with, and that's one of the reasons why I'm so drawn to this. This doesn't seem like your typical crappy will they won't they shoujo show. So we'll see. It looks like the plot itself is set up to influence change and make a big difference between characters. And I'm incredibly excited about that. I'm incredibly excited to see a romance show. I hope this doesn't just turn into a anime about friendship, I'm seeing little hints of, because I don't really like it when an anime that's supposed to be billed as a romance decides to be like, oh, we're more about friendship than romance. We're not really gonna like show any of that steamy stuff. Your characters you've been wanting to get together aren't gonna share any passionate, fiery kisses or romantic nights or anything like that. No, we're just gonna have fun with friends. It's gonna be cute and stuff. I don't really like that. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. And you know what? Next on, why don't I criticize the music? And by criticize, I mean there's actually not a lot to criticize here. I enjoyed the opening. I really enjoyed the ending for some reason, even though it's fairly cliche. And it seems fairly standard, but I just enjoyed the music. Sometimes music just strikes me, sometimes it doesn't. Now, what I really like is the amount of piano and acoustic guitar that plays throughout just the course of the episode. I really enjoyed a lot of those tracks that it played, and they're sticking with me even now as I'm recording this video, which is very impressive for a soundtrack to do. I was talking about Susumu Hirasawa in the Berserk 2016 episode 1 review, and how he seems to be lacking, and how I'm not really too keen on the soundtrack for the new Berserk, but I have to say I was very taken aback by this orange, this shoujo romance anime having a soundtrack that I seem to be really, really enjoying, which I gotta hand it to it for doing that. Now, plot-wise, it seems like it's going to be really cute. They do drop a bomb on us at the end of the episode. I'll show a screenshot here, which screenshots are all I'm going to be showing. Yeah, that's our main character, Naho. She seems to be with somebody else, and from the hair and stuff, I won't spoil who it is, but it's definitely someone within the friend group that is in this picture. It's one of these two guys right here that isn't Kakadu-kun, so it's one of those two guys. So that was kind of a bomb that was dropped, and there's a big question that was brought up. They brought it up fairly subtly, and they didn't make like a big deal out of it. But the question is, she's wondering if these changes she makes in her life now and doing what she wants to do so that she doesn't end up having regrets, if that's going to end up changing her future self 10 years in the future. And I honestly, I don't know. I speculate that it's actually not going to, that she's purely doing this for her past self, because she seems to have a very happy and joyful life as it is without the changes. But maybe the way it's going to be is her future self is going to stay with that one character, but her past self is going to end up having that perfect romance with Kakeru. So I don't know how it's going to go. It's very interesting, and I can't wait to see where it's going to go from here. Anyways, after watching and reviewing this first episode, I must say I definitely do recommend this show. It doesn't have the nostalgia and just pure popularity that Berserk has going for it, and it doesn't have the creative minds behind it that Mob Psycho 100 is going to have for it, even though I haven't seen the first episode. I don't even think the first episode of that show is dropped yet, but Orange is definitely an entertaining little romance show from what I can see, even just based off the first episode. Sometimes you can just watch a first episode and just tell that an anime is going to be really good. Sometimes not. Sometimes animes have really intriguing, really awesome first episodes, and then they end up being shit. But I have really good faith in this one to just be a good romance show. I haven't seen a good romance show in a while. I was kind of spoiled in my early fandom by watching just like really solid, really good romance shows. In my early fandom, I watched things like Nana, and I watched Clannad and things of that nature, where they kind of Toradora and Eureka 7, they kind of spoiled me as far as romance shows go. And, there was other ones too. I wasn't just watching great anime in my early fandom, but I did enjoy shows like Karen and stuff. But the thing was, other shows, I still had a chance to leave an impression because I hadn't been completely ruined by just watching some of the best anime out there. So, as far as romance goes, I've definitely kind of been spoiled by the genre already, so now it's very hard to find really, really good shows that have romantic plot lines or subplots, either or. So it's really interested to see this go somewhere and see it go somewhere great. Anyways, if you've seen the first episode of Orange, tell me what you thought about it. Comment below. And if you want to watch another anime review episode thingy of mine, you can check out my review for episode 1 of Berserk. Anyways, this has been the AnimeQuest channel, and I will see you guys on the next quest for anime.